عليكم ninjas, أهلا وسهلا بكم. It's your Tech Ninja Muhammad. We have another epic comparison. We have Redmi 10X versus Redmi Note 9S. By the way, Redmi 10X, 95% this smartphone will be released as a global branded as Redmi Note 10. So that's why I also added in the title. We'll see what's gonna happen here. It's gonna be very interesting when I'm gonna do screen comparison, design comparison, speaker comparison, and camera comparison, which is also very, very important. We're gonna do that. So ninjas, regarding design wise, the price tags, we have $300 versus $200. $300 versus $200. Remember that. You will have the buying links in the description. Support my channel by shopping online with my links. So let's first begin with the build quality here, and what do we have regarding this two smartphones. Ninjas, what do we have here, which is really, really interesting? It seems that this device here, the Redmi 10X, has a plastic frames, ninjas, while the Redmi Note 9S has aluminum alloy frame. I know it's crazy, it's cheaper, $100, but it has aluminum frame. Both of them do have Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, so dual glass front and back design. That is super cool. One of them have water drop notch, and one of them have hole punch. Both of them have of course headphone jack, Type-C USB port, one speaker and one microphone on the bottom, and on the top we have IR blaster and noise cancellation microphone. Check this out. On the side we have volume rocker and power button. With the Redmi Note 9S we have also physical fingerprint sensor. On the left side we have dual acceptable slot. Remember, Redmi Note 9S has 2+1. You can use SD card and 2 SIM cards. And on the back we have quad camera setup with the Redmi Note 9S, triple camera setup with the Redmi 10X. Check this out. Beautiful. Let me just wipe it a little bit. Beautiful. Just so basically having a size, Redmi 10X 9mm, Redmi Note 9S 8.8mm, 205 grams versus 209. Redmi Note 9S a bit heavier but thinner, a little bit thinner. So ninjas, this is really good. This is really good here. Both of them are really large smartphones, very large smartphones, like you see by itself. And both of them have, I would say that this is kind of similar design in my opinion. The setup here with the camera, they are very, very similar. You can just see by itself that since it has quad cameras, the Redmi Note 9S has a single, basically single-handed, or basically has a separate space for the flashlight. Redmi Note 9S. Beautiful. Yeah, you get the point. Anyway, let's go back now here. So this is the screen. We're gonna do this screen comparison just in a minute, and you probably can see immediately here the viewing angles are much, much better here with the AMOLED panel with the Redmi 10X. But let's put it on the table and test the screen viewing angles. Here you go. Yeah, immediately you can notice that. This, by the way, this is maxed or maximum resolution, both of them. Redmi 10X is just, it is $100 more expensive, but you do get more for the money that you pay, ninjas. It's noticeable. It is honestly noticeable. Again, I will show you right now. This is max brightness. There you go. If you look at them directly, the difference is there. You can still see Redmi Note 9S has a slightly bigger screen, slightly. The bezel size, you can see myself on the bottom. It seems that they are very similar price. Yeah, very similar size. Side bezels are also very similar, and on the top bezels, you can see myself also very similar, which is very interesting, isn't it? Here we go, ninjas, side by side here. On the top we have Redmi 10X, on the bottom we have Redmi Note 9S. The difference, it's really noticeable, bro. Just it's an advanced technology here, better display, better quality, richer, brighter. Viewing angles are also good, but again, it is $100 price tag difference. I can't expect for more. But remember that Xiaomi Mi 9 Lite was selling for the same price tag as the Redmi Note 9S, which had an AMOLED panel and it had a better screen. I don't understand. I don't understand. But again, yes, of course, Redmi Note 9S in 2-3 months is gonna drop under $200, maybe $180 for sure. And we have 6.57 inches versus 6.67 inches, AMOLED versus LCD IPS, 20 with 9 aspect ratio, full HD plus resolution, 401 ppi versus 395 ppi, screen brightness 450 for the Redmi Note 9S, and 600 luxes for the basically Redmi 10X / Redmi Note 10. So again, it's a big difference in just, it's a big difference there. Touch sampling rate, we have 180 hertz, HDR10 certified panel, and TUV plus DCI-P3 and DC dimming with of course Redmi 10X, which Redmi Note 9S doesn't have this technology. Remember that. And also with the Redmi 10X on the top we have an always on display, just always on display, which is popular with the Samsung panels. What a big difference, big difference here in the brightness and in the color. Here it's just beautiful. This panel on the Redmi 10X for the money that you're paying. I have to admit that. But again, decent screen for the Redmi Note 9S. It is the best smartphone under $200 right now in 2020. Nothing can beat it. Yes, you can mention Realme 6, but again, overall, the best package, it is the Redmi Note 9S. Let's move on to the speaker comparison. Okay, let's begin. Redmi 10X is on the left side. Max volume. Hala rep. Note 9S. Have the right attention too fast before you stop eating. Our next said there's excellence, that's evidence. It's that important. Rewards enormous. Instructed that's a horse to be had. Plenty of butter can hasanat. Not like empty tab, they just fast. Keep it light, beat it right, no doubt that you'll last. The last that don't blame nobody. Iblis is tied up, Jin speech is wide shut. Increasing my trust and seeking guidance in duet Esamir. Here's what I lust, number 4. I know you heard this before. Can't touch your wives after sunrise. I'm set, you can even taste the food. Only if you cook and make sure not to overdo. 6. Make sure no cheating, no faking. Wudu is for clean and not for hydration. 7. Is so underrated, stop so hard on time in muggers when you break it. Crucially taught in hadith when he speaks, break fast with water an odd number of dates. 8, the most merciful of Rahman. Ladies know the planet, men sing y'all pardon. Tisa should have been number 1 to me. And if you don't perform so bad, then why you stop beating? Whoever fast without prayer. Ninjas, this is really difficult. Redmi Note 9S, I did praise it a lot for the price. It has really good speakers, Ninjas. So this again is gonna be very tough. The loudness, I would even say that the Redmi Note 9S slightly, but the quality goes to the Redmi 10X. Again, Ninjas, you're not gonna make a mistake. This is really crazy that Redmi Note 9S for $200 has a really good sound chamber there. Beautiful, and both of them have also really good volume output through the headphone jack. Let's go now with the camera comparison. I hope you've been enjoying this video so far. Hit that subscribe button and like if you appreciate my work. Thank you. Let's go. And just this is camera comparison, Redmi 10X versus Redmi Note 9S. By the way, Ninjas, Redmi 10X, like 95% is gonna be called as a global Redmi Note 10. So that's why I added also in the title the Redmi Note 10. Just have that in mind. Testing here the selfie camera, 1080p, video stability test. Both of them don't have EIS, but we're going to check here the exposure. And just this is camera comparison, Redmi 10X versus Redmi Note 9S. By the way, Ninjas, Redmi 10X, like 95% is going to be called as a global Redmi Note 10. So that's why I added also in the title the Redmi Note 10. Just have that in mind. Testing here the selfie camera, 1080p, video stability test. Both of them don't have EIS, but we're going to check here the exposure. Let's go next. And just this is camera comparison, Redmi 10X versus Redmi Note 9S. By the way, Ninjas, Redmi 10X, like 95% is going to be called as a global Redmi Note 10. So that's why I added also in the title the Redmi Note 10. Just have that in mind. Testing here the selfie camera, 1080p, video stability test. Both of them don't have EIS, but we're going to check here the exposure. Let's go next. Okay, welcome back, Ninjas. This is Redmi 10X versus Redmi Note 9S. Redmi 10X will probably be called as a global Redmi Note 10, so that's why I added in the title. Video stability test, 1080p, 30 FPS. Beautiful. Okay, welcome back, Ninjas. This is Redmi 10X versus Redmi Note 9S. Redmi 10X will probably be called as a global Redmi Note 10, so that's why I added in the title. Video stability test and 80p 30 fps. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, welcome back ninjas. This is Redmi 10X versus Redmi Note 9S. Redmi 10X will probably be called as a global Redmi Note 10, so that's why I added in the title. Video stability test and 80p 30 fps. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, this camera test comparison, Redmi Note 9S versus Redmi 10X. Mašo, jeste se okupili vi sad banda postali, brate moj. Moram na provizije da... Okay, this camera test comparison, Redmi Note 9S versus Redmi 10X. Mašo, jeste se okupili vi sad banda postali, brate moj. Moram na provizije da... Okay, this camera test comparison, Redmi Note 9S versus Redmi 10X. Mašo, jeste se okupili vi sad banda postali, brate moj. Moram na provizije da...
Shout out to my fasting ox. My ox that's been fasting the white days, Mondays and Thursdays. I ain't forget about y'all, man. This one's for y'all. I've been in this deen for years. All 28 of those, history as Muslims, it's been generational. Siyam fasting is part of the practice. Ain't nothing realer, it's one of the pillars. Rakam wahid. Have the right niyat, intention too fast before you stop eating. Our Nebi said there's excellence, that's evidence. It's that important, rewards enormous. 2, instructed that's a horse to be had. Plenty of barakat and hasanat. Not like Ahl Kitab, they just fast. Keep it light, get it right, no doubt that you'll last. The last that don't blame nobody. Iblis is tied up, jinn speech is wide shut. Increasing my trust in seeking guidance in du'a as-samir. Here's what I lust. Number 4, I know you heard this before. Can't touch your wives after sunrise. Hamsa, you can even taste the food. Only if you cook and make sure not to overdo. 6, make sure no cheating, no faking. Wudu is for clean and not for hydration. 7, this rule is so underrated. Stop suhoor on time in Maghribs when you break it. Crucially taught in hadith when he speaks. Break fast with water and odd number of dates. 8, the most merciful of Rahman. Ladies know the planet, men sing y'all pardon. Tisa should have been number 1 to me. And if you don't perform salat, then why you stop beating? Whoever fasts without prayer ain't valid. Dolala, they're an apostate in Kafir. 10 is for the ones to be excused who happens to be sick with something like a flu. Diabetes or immune, just unable to do the obligatory fast that a Muslim's supposed to do. Follow these rules, you'll have 2 joys on accord when breaking fast and when you meet your Lord. The smell of breath is precious, no exceptions. Qadr Allah better than must, so accept it. Month of detox while body gets corrected. Its essence, Al-Razak had us right where he kept us. Inshallah, there's benefit in this message. Gotta go, may Allah accept us. Ameen. Shout out to my fasting ox. My ox that's been fasting the white days, Mondays and Thursdays. I ain't forget about y'all, man. This one's for y'all. I've been in this deen for years. All 28 of those, history as Muslims, it's been generational. Siyam fasting is part of the practice. Ain't nothing realer, it's one of the pillars. Rakam wahid. Have the right niyat, intention too fast before you stop eating. Our Nebi said there's excellence, that's evidence. It's that important, rewards enormous. 2, instructed that's a horse to be had. Plenty of barakat and hasanat. Not like Ahl Kitab, they just fast. Keep it light, get it right, no doubt that you'll last.